Hello everybody, this is Jeanette here with Divinity Within, and I'm here today to talk about yin and yang. What is yin? What is yang? And how can we incorporate that into our lives to live a more healthy, balanced life and a lifestyle and something that experience things that we really enjoy. So something to know about yin is a state of internal movement. It is a state of being. It is a state of feeling, of reflecting. Often we can restructure, we can heal, we can rejuvenate during times of yin. Yin is also accompanied and associated with the feminine side and all of the energies of the feminine side. Yang is a state of doing, a state of creating, of producing, of moving forward, of making, and being productive in some sort of way. And this is often a very active time. Many individuals can be involved during a time of yang, and many projects can spring forth in these times. And it is often associated with the masculine side. So in the Western culture and in American culture, what we do is we often praise the yang, the side of doing, of creating, of producing. And we often say that during times of yang, that we must be in the flow, because all of these things are coming forward. All of the doors are opening, and the people and the books and the situations are just kind of falling into our lap and springing forth. It's a time of abundance and a time of harvest, and it's very exciting. And when people are in this state of being, in the yang state, we often receive a lot of praise. We receive great job and good work, and you're really moving forward and you're really making things happen. And this is all wonderful. We deserve to be praised for moving forward and making things happen. We only can receive harvests when we do something called working in the yin state. And the yin state is a time of healing, a time of reflecting and restructuring. And often it is slower. It doesn't always involve lots of people. It may involve a few people. There may be a few projects here and there, but it is often focused on the self, realigning the self and creating space for the self to become even more than what it is. And we don't always honor this state of being. And in this culture, we usually and often don't even understand this state of being. And when we are called inward, we're called into this ebb, this state of ebb, this state of yin, we get very nervous, we get very upset, we can get very frustrated or sad or depressed. We can feel as if we're stepping out of the flow when things begin to slow down or get a little quieter, or projects come to a time of pause or a time of completion. And this is a very confusing time, and we often try to kind of move through it. We try to bulldoze through this time when we're tired, when we really don't want to go out, when we really don't have tons of energy or tons of desire to create. We often make ourselves. We make ourselves create. We make ourselves think that we want to produce. And when we do this, at some point we often begin to experience exhaustion. We often begin to experience illness. Whether it is that your immune system is lower, your heart is beating faster due to the stress, your organs are beginning to become stressed or imbalanced, your emotional state or mental state isn't as smooth or stable. And if we don't personally take the time to listen to this call to go inward, this call to slow things down a little, to take time to ourselves, to write, to draw, to listen to music, to be with people in a smaller setting. If we don't listen to this, what happens is that we eventually might break down. And sometimes this can take months. Sometimes it can take years. Sometimes it can take decades, depending on who the person is and how much gumption that they have to be in a yang state, to be in a productive, creative, moving forward, making things happen state. Some people can be in this state for quite some time. So when they break down, it is huge, because they have this scale that is very much out of balance, that they've spent so much time producing and creating that they really neglected this time of being, this time of healing, of reflecting and shifting. And so when this kind of breaks, the scale flips to the other side. And now we have to take care of ourselves, because maybe everything fell out of the bottom. Maybe our health went away. Maybe our relationships went away because we didn't take care of them. Maybe our emotional body or our mental body is just so overwhelmed or so full of chaos and clutter that we aren't able to produce like we used to. Like there's nothing that we can do to create. So it's really important to begin to bring balance into your life and to begin to find ways that are very natural to you to honor the yang, to release any blocks, worries, or fears that you have about moving forward, and to understand, and for most people this is very important, to understand and cultivate the yin, to create space for a time of being, a time of relaxation, of rejuvenation and reflection. And begin to find ways to incorporate that in your day. And you'll begin to notice that this ebb, this movement forward, the movement forward, the flow, while it feels very synchronistic, and it is, this ebb inward is also very synchronistic. And if we miss the call to go inside, if we miss the call to heal, if we miss the call to take time to ourselves, to rejuvenate, we miss the call of the universe, and we begin to step outside of the stream, outside of the natural flow of the universe. And then yes, we are disconnected. A lot of times we get confused mentally and think the flow of the universe is always forward movement, always going forward, always creating and producing, and that we must be in the state of yang in order to be in the flow of the universe. This is not true. The ebb inward and the flow outward are both a part of the nature of the universe and the way that it functions in our lives. And we must listen to both. And so beginning to develop skills of ways that feel comfortable for you, for how to move inward, how to heal, how to honor this frequency and this call, whether it's take time to yourself, turn off your cell phone, listen to music you enjoy, write, spend time with a very close person in your life. Do something, give yourself Reiki, take salt baths, even if it's 10 minutes, that is a time of yin. If it takes you to a state of being, if it takes you to a state of relaxation, rejuvenation, a state of healing and reflection, it is a state of yin. And if you could incorporate that 10 minutes, an hour, one time a week into your daily living, then you can bring balance with the yin and the yang. You can begin to bring balance with that ebb and that flow. And then you can begin to live a more healthy, sustainable life. You don't have to go from one extreme to the other, from creating and producing to be extremely sick and wanting nothing to do with anybody and having to take weeks or months to yourself, to creating and producing and making and creating and producing, to not wanting to have anything to do with the world or anybody. You can begin to have times when you are creating, when you are producing, when you are making things happen, and times when you are taking care of yourself, when it is just about you and what will fill you up. And when you begin to make that a part of your daily living, you make the universe a part of your daily living. You step into an organic state of being, day and night, yin and yang, male and female, doing and being. Balance is key for evolution, soul evolution, mental evolution, emotional evolution, physical and spiritual evolution. It is key for keeping health in your life. It is key for keeping the mental body stable, the emotional body stable, and allowing you to live in a way that you desire. So I encourage you to find ways to honor both the yin, to release blocks, worries, fears, any kind of judgment that you have towards it, and to honor the yang. Some of us are very terrified of yang and moving forward and creating and having things work and be in the flow and having things happen. So releasing that block, those blocks, that resistance, that fear, those self-sabotaging behaviors, you will find balance in your life. You will find it easier to connect with who you are. You will find that life approaches you in healthy, beautiful, wonderful ways. So I wish you the best on your journey. And this is Jeanette with Divinity Within.